Parents kicked out their son at 19. Said his wife was too poor, beneath them, no place in the family. He vanished for 25 long years, built a billion-dollar empire in silence. Then he came back, bought their dream mansion, and turned it into a shelter for abandoned kids like he once was. This is the most poetic family revenge ever. Bitter revenge begins, right now. My name is Noah Sullivan. I was 19 when my parents told me I was no longer welcome in their home. We lived in a gated community outside Nashville, Tennessee, 6-bedroom Georgian mansion, 3 acres, pool, tennis court, home theater. My father, Victor Sullivan, owns Sullivan Commercial Realty, a brokerage firm specializing in office buildings and retail centers across the Southeast. Annual commissions top $12 to $15 million. My mother, Evelyn, managed the social calendar and the family image, country club memberships, charity galas, private school boards. I was the middle child. Older sister Claire, perfect student, married a doctor, younger brother Dylan, athletic prodigy, full-ride football scholarship. I was the quiet one, good grades, robotics club, summer coding camps. I met Maya Patel junior year at Vanderbilt, computer science major, daughter of Indian immigrants who ran a small motel in Murfreesboro. Maya was brilliant, kind, ambitious. We fell in love fast. I told my parents I wanted to marry her after graduation. Dad exploded in the dining room. She's poor, Noah. Motel owners. No connections. No future here. You're a Sullivan. You marry someone who adds value. Mom nodded from the doorway. We've built this life for you. Claire married up. Dylan will too. You can't throw it away on a girl with nothing. I said, I love her. She's going to be a data scientist. I'm going to build software. We'll make it. Dad laughed coldly. You're 19. You don't know anything. If you marry her, you're out. No trust fund. No college money. No family. You're dead to us. I stared. You're serious? Mom's voice was ice. We won't support this. Choose, her or us. I chose Maya. The next day they changed the locks. I came home from class to find my things in black trash bags on the driveway. Dad stood in the doorway. You made your choice, he said. Don't come back. I left with $1,200 from summer jobs, my laptop, a backpack, and Maya waiting in her beat-up Honda. We drove to Nashville that night. Her scholarship-covered dorm, mine was gone. I enrolled at community college, worked nights at a call center, slept on a friend's couch for months. No calls. No birthday texts. No Christmas cards. Claire got the full wedding, $150,000 paid by mom and dad. Dylan got a new truck, private coaching, trust funds started. They posted family photos online, smiling, perfect, no mention of me. I didn't speak to them for 15 years. Maya and I married at 20 Courthouse, 2 friends as witnesses. She finished her degree, landed a job at a Nashville tech firm, $85,000 starting. I transferred to Vanderbilt on loans and scholarships, majored in computer science with a focus on AI. Graduated magna cum laude. Landed a job at a startup, $110,000 starting. We lived frugally. No vacations. No new cars. Paid off loans aggressively. Invested every bonus. Maya climbed to senior data scientist, $180,000. I switched to a blockchain security firm, became lead architect. By 30 I had my first big exit, co-founded a cybersecurity tool for supply chains. Sold to a major player for $38 million, my share $14.2 million after taxes. We didn't splurge. Bought a modest 4-bedroom in Franklin, paid cash. Invested the rest real estate, index funds, early AI startups. At 35 I founded Sullivan Secure, deliberate name. Focused on AI-driven threat detection for commercial real estate and logistics. First client, a real estate brokerage, ironic. Revenue hit $65 million year 4, $220 million year 8. Went public at 42 NASDAQ listing, shares tripled in 6 months. Net worth crossed $1.8 billion. I never told my parents. Changed my last name to Sullivan Patel after our first child, Arya. Social media private. They thought I was somewhere in Nashville, probably average. 25 years after the disownment, the opportunity came. Sullivan Commercial Realty was collapsing. Office market crashed post-pandemic, bad loans, competition from national firms. Debt hit $42 million. The family mansion, 8,000 square feet on 5 acres in Belmead, was mortgaged to the hilt. Victor put the business and the house up for auction, quietly. I formed Summit Legacy Holdings Anonymous LLC. Through brokers, I bid $31 million cash, took the entire portfolio, brokerage assets, client list, and the Belmead mansion. The bank accepted. No other bidders wanted the liability. Closing day. Nashville Title Office. Victor, Evelyn, Claire, Dylan, and their spouses on one side. Victor in his old suit, Evelyn clutching pearls, Claire looking uncomfortable, Dylan hungover. They didn't know the buyer until I walked in. Noah? Victor whispered. I took the head chair. It's Noah Sullivan Patel now. Summit Legacy Holdings is purchasing Sullivan Commercial Realty and the Belmead property today. Cash wired. Debt cleared. Evelyn gasped. Claire stared. Dylan muttered, no way. I slid the final docs. As new owner, I'm making immediate changes. Victor Sullivan, Evelyn Sullivan, you are terminated from any remaining interests. No severance, no consulting. The mansion is now mine. You have 60 days to vacate. After that, eviction begins. Victor's voice cracked. Noah, son. This is our home. Our legacy. I looked at him evenly. You disowned me at 19 for marrying Maya. You said she was poor, beneath us. You cut me off, never called, never apologized. This isn't revenge. This is ownership. Evelyn sobbed. We were wrong. We know now. Please, it's our home. Our memories. I paused. You said there was no place for me or my family. Now there's no place for you. 60 days. Claire whispered. We have kids. Grandkids. They need to see the house. I stood. You had 25 years to include mine. You didn't. 60 days. Security stepped in. They left Victor leaning on Evelyn, Claire in tears, Dylan silent. I walked the mansion that evening, empty rooms, faded photos still on walls. The house they built on exclusion, now mine. 25 years after they kicked me out for marrying poor, I bought their dream mansion. And turned it into a shelter for abandoned kids. The first decade after the disownment was pure survival. Maya and I lived in a cramped one-bedroom apartment in Nashville, rent $850, utilities extra. She finished her degree on scholarships and part-time coding gigs. I worked nights at a data center, days at community college. We ate rice and beans, shared one phone plan, celebrated anniversaries with free park walks. Our first child, Arya, arrived at 23, born at Vanderbilt Hospital on Medicaid. Maya cried happy tears holding her. I worked double shifts to cover diapers. No family help. No calls. No birthday cards. Claire got a $200,000 wedding, Dad paid. Dylan got a new Jeep, private coaching, trust funds started. They posted family photos online. Smiling at galas, vacations to Aspen, no mention of me or Maya. I didn't speak to them for 15 years. I transferred to Vanderbilt on loans and merit aid, majored in computer science with AI focus. Graduated summa cum laude. Landed a job at a Nashville fintech startup, $105,000 starting. Maya climbed to senior data engineer, $160,000. We paid off loans aggressively, saved every bonus, invested in index funds and real estate. By 30, I had my first exit. Co-founded a fraud detection AI tool. Sold to a major bank for $45 million, my share $17.8 million after taxes. We didn't splurge. Bought a modest 4-bedroom in Brentwood, paid cash. Invested the rest, commercial properties in growing suburbs, early AI startups. At 34, I founded Sullivan Secure, deliberate name. Focused on AI threat detection for real estate and logistics. First client, a commercial brokerage, ironic. Revenue hit $80 million year 4, $260 million year 9. Went public at 41 NASDAQ listing, shares quadrupled. Net worth crossed $2.1 billion. I never told my parents. Changed my last name to Sullivan Patel after Aria. Social media private. They thought I was average in Nashville. 25 years after the disownment, the mansion came up. Sullivan Commercial Realty collapsed, post-pandemic office vacancies, bad loans, Dylan's failed investments draining cash. Debt hit $38 million. The Belmead Mansion. 8,000 square feet, 5 acres, pool, theater, was mortgaged heavily. Victor put the business assets and house up for auction. I formed Summit Legacy Holdings Anonymous. Through brokers, I bid $29 million cash, took everything, brokerage remnants and the mansion. Closing day, Nashville title office. Victor, Evelyn, Claire, Dylan on one side, Victor frail, Evelyn with a cane, Claire exhausted, Dylan hungover. They didn't know until I walked in. Noah? Victor whispered. I sat at the head. It's Noah Sullivan Patel now. Summit Legacy Holdings is purchasing Sullivan Commercial Realty assets and the Belmead Mansion today. Cash wired. Debt cleared. Evelyn gasped. Claire stared. Dylan muttered, impossible. I slid the papers. As new owner, I'm making immediate changes. Victor Sullivan, Evelyn Sullivan, you are removed from any interests. No severance. The mansion is mine. You have 60 days to vacate. After that, eviction begins. Victor's voice cracked. Noah. This is our home. Our life. I looked at him evenly. You kicked me out at 19 for marrying Maya. Said she was poor, beneath us. You cut me off, never called, never apologized. You chose Claire and Dylan. This isn't revenge. This is ownership. Evelyn sobbed. We were wrong. We regret it. Please, it's our home. Our memories. I paused. You said there was no place for me or Maya. Now there's no place for you. 60 days. Claire whispered. Our kids, they need to see the house. I stood. You had 25 years to include mine. You didn't. 60 days. Security stepped in. They left Victor leaning on Evelyn, Claire in tears, Dylan silent. I renovated the mansion, not for me. I gutted it, added dorms, classrooms, counseling rooms. Turned it into Sullivan Patel Haven, a shelter for abandoned and at-risk teens. Free housing, job training, therapy, education support. Funded by my foundation, $15 million endowment. Named after Maya and me. The first residents moved in 6 months later, kids kicked out for similar reasons. I never invited my family back. Victor died a year later, heart failure. No invite to me. Evelyn followed 2 years after, cancer. Claire sold her house, moved to Knoxville. Dylan lost his job, moved to a trailer park. Claire sent one letter, forwarded by my attorney. Noah. Mom and Dad are gone. I'm alone. I know we were awful. I'm sorry. If you ever want to meet your nieces, they ask about you. Claire. I read it. Donated $200,000 anonymously to a teen shelter in Knoxville. No reply. Dylan texted once. Bro, I'm sorry. I see now what favoritism did. I'm trying to change. If you ever want to talk. Blocked. 25 years after they kicked me out for marrying poor, the mansion, once their symbol of exclusion, was now a home for kids like teenage me. The shelter housed 80 teens. Yearly graduation rates 92%, job placement 88%. Maya and I visited often. Read stories, taught coding, hugged kids who needed it. Aria asked about Grandpa Victor at 12. I told her, some families make mistakes. They chose wrong. But we choose love every day. That's why our family and this shelter is full. She hugged me. I love our family. The mansion that once said no place for you now said welcome to everyone. Karma didn't need cruelty. It needed 25 years. And one son who turned rejection into refuge. The 60-day eviction clock ran out quietly. I didn't go to the Belmead mansion on the final day. I didn't need to watch them leave. The property manager and a sheriff's deputy handled it. Locks changed at 8 a.m., utilities transferred, cameras live. They had 60 days from closing. They used 58. From the security feed, sent to my phone, I saw them load a moving truck, boxes of china, photo albums, Evelyn's antique furniture, Victor's golf trophies. Claire supervised her 2 teenagers. Dylan argued with the manager about family heirlooms. The manager showed the court order. They drove away at 10:32 a.m., truck pulling out of the circular driveway for the last time. I never stepped inside again. I listed the mansion immediately, $6.8 million asking, renovated for purpose. Sold in 4 weeks to a non-profit consortium. Proceeds wired to my foundation. The dream house they built on exclusion became a shelter. I gutted it completely. Added dorms, counseling rooms, classrooms, a full kitchen, therapy offices. Turned it into Sullivan Patel Haven, a residential shelter for abandoned teens and young adults aged 16 to 24. Free housing, job training, GED programs, mental health support, life skills classes. Funded by a $25 million endowment from my trust. First residents moved in 3 months later, kids kicked out for similar reasons, poor partners, wrong choices, family favoritism. I named it after Maya and me. The shelter's motto, there's always room here. I never invited my family back. Victor died 18 months after the eviction, heart failure, alone in the Round Rock apartment. No invite sent to me. Evelyn followed a year later, complications from hip surgery and grief. Claire handled arrangements, small service in Nashville. She posted an obituary, loving parents of Claire, Dylan, and Noah. My name included polite fiction. I read it online. Didn't comment. Claire tried one reach. Letter to my foundation. Noah. Mom and Dad are gone. I'm raising 2 kids alone. Dylan's struggling. I know we were awful. I'm sorry. If you ever want to meet your nieces, they ask about you. Claire. I read it. Donated $250,000 anonymously to a teen shelter in Nashville, domestic violence and LGBTQ+ youth support. No name. No reply. Dylan sent one text, new number. Bro, I'm sorry. I see now what favoritism did. I'm trying to change. If you ever want to talk. Blocked. 25 years after they kicked me out for marrying poor, the mansion, once their symbol of superiority, was now a home for kids like teenage me. The shelter housed 120 teens. Yearly graduation rates 89%, job placement 85%, college enrollment 62%. Maya and I visited often, read stories, taught coding workshops, hugged kids who needed it. Aria, now 18, volunteered summers, mentored younger girls on scholarships. Mateo and Isabella helped with tech classes. One Christmas. 26 years after the disownment, I hosted the shelter residents at our Brentwood home. Full tables, lights everywhere, gifts for everyone. No one said no room. Everyone had a place. Arya asked about Grandpa Victor at 16. I told her, some grandparents make mistakes. They chose wrong. But we choose love every day. That's why our family and this shelter is full. She hugged me. I love our family. The mansion that once said you're not worth it now said you're worth everything to kids society overlooked. Claire sold her house in Nashville, downsized to a condo in Knoxville. Dylan lost his job, moved to a trailer park in Murfreesboro. They never reached out again. They lived with the silence they created. I never regretted the purchase. I regretted only that it took 25 years to make room for myself and Maya. The shelter became my quiet legacy. Hundreds of kids housed, educated, loved. The mansion that excluded us now included everyone. Sophia and I celebrated our 30th anniversary on the shelter grounds, kids and grandkids around us, lights in every window, laughter filling the air. Sophia leaned against me. You turned their rejection into this. I kissed her. We did. Together. No more poor. No more disowned. Just abundance. Karma didn't need vengeance. It needed 25 years. And one son who turned no place for you into place for everyone. The mansion, once their dream, was now everyone's refuge. And my family, Sophia, our kids, grandkids, the shelter, was full. Forever, that was Noah's story. Disowned at 19 for marrying poor, abandoned by his own parents. But he waited 25 years, became a billionaire quietly. And turned their mansion of exclusion into a home for kids with no place. Karma doesn't forget when they said, no room for you. It remembers, and it makes room for everyone. If this revenge healed something in you, smash that like button. Subscribe and hit the bell, next heart-shaking karma story drops soon. Comment right now. Did your family ever judge you for who you loved? Or would you do what Noah did? See you in the next bitter revenge. Remember, they said you're not worth it. He proved they were wrong forever.